Starcasting to you from the City of Angels. Hello everyone, I'm Kiris. Thank you so much for being here and listening to the Voice of Astrology podcast. This is your astrology cosmic superpower for the week beginning Sunday, June 9th through Saturday, June 15th, 2024. Let's journey together with astrology and explore how to connect with the stars, the planets, the energies for our new week ahead. The honeymoon June evening sky brings us the waxing crescent moon, and the moon will hang near the bright star Regulus, the royal heart of the lion. Regulus is the brightest star in Leo the lion, and the moon in Regulus will be visible until around midnight. June 14th brings us the first quarter moon, and the first quarter moon will rise around noon, your local time, and then set around midnight. Watch for it high in the sky at sundown. Also on June 14th, we have the moon reaching its apogee. That is the farthest distance from the Earth in its elliptical orbit around the Earth. The planet Mercury, the messenger, moves into superior conjunction with the sun on this June 14th. Mercury, from our vantage point, is behind the sun and not visible. Mercury will emerge in the evening sky the last few days of June. Over the weekend for June 15th and 16th, we have the sweetest star in the heavens, Spica, hanging next to the fat, waxing gibbous moon, and they will rise before sunset and be visible through several hours after midnight. Sunday, June 9th, we now have the planet Mars, which is the planet of aggression, action, anger, getting things done. Mars is forceful energy. As we're starting off the week on Sunday, we now have Mars in its detriment in the sign of Taurus. When Mars goes into the territory, the domain of Venus, Taurus being ruled by Venus, this is a disturbance of the peace. When you visualize the sign of Taurus, you can think of Taurus the bull, Elsie the cow, out in the pasture, just hanging out, chilling. It's a beautiful day, not bothering anybody, just doing their thing. A very calm, fixed earth, down to earth, nature-based being, Taurus, that is just okay, everything's fine. Then here comes Mars, the warrior, who has a job to do, and the job of Mars is to get something started. It's like the old saying you've heard, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Well, Mars in Taurus wants to interfere, even though there's nothing wrong. Taurus being again all about the love and beauty and creativity. Now, where is the sign of Taurus in your personal astrology chart, which is based on the accurate birthday, time, and place of your birth? Your astrology chart is a circle divided up into 12 sections called houses. Each one of the houses looks like a slice of pie, and each section or house corresponds to a different area of your life, from work, love, marriage, money, career, health, all of it. So with Mars going into the sign of Taurus, which is upsetting the peace, Mars in Libra, which is ruled by Venus, and Mars in Taurus, which is ruled by Venus, is not about keeping the peace, it's about disturbing the peace. Knowing where you have the sign of Taurus, in what department of life you have Taurus, and knowing that the planet Mars is now crashing into head first that department of your life is important to know. we have Mars in Taurus through June and into July. So what area of life? Let's say, for instance, Mars is going into your 7th house of marriage and relationships. Well, why would we want to know the astrology and the patterns, the cycles that are being highlighted for us? Is because knowing that Mars is going into its detrimental placement. It doesn't function at its best there. So let's say it is in the 7th house of marriage. We want to make more of an effort and be more aware. This is why we want to know the astrology, to be more aware that, let's say, the partner is irritable and upset more and seems to be wanting to get into conflict or arguments more, then knowing, oh, Mars is in Taurus. I think I'll make more of an effort to keep things calm and peaceful. One of the areas of life that I find interesting is that most of us have to go to the grocery store. And the grocery store, which is food, which Taurus is connected to, the grocery store, I don't know if it's because people are hungry, impatient to get home after work with their food, but the grocery store seems to just be a hotbed of a Mars in Taurus cycle, where the typical impatience of people in a rush, they want their food, they want to get out. Now this Mars in Taurus cycle is, okay, I'm going to make more of an effort to be even more patient with Mars in Taurus placement. So know where this Mars and its detriment is taking place in your personal astrology chart and in your personal life. All of the different things that you have to do on a daily basis, where it's better to keep it peaceful and Taurus calm if we can, and make more of an effort to do so. This Sunday, June 9th, we've got the Sun making a square aspect to Saturn in Pisces. Now, this is a lot of ego conflict. The Sun, which is the expression and wanting to communicate and wanting to make changes in the sign of Gemini. Saturn, which is the block in the sign of Pisces, saying, no, the changes will not be made, because Saturn in Pisces is where we are in denial about something, where we are avoiding and not wanting to look at the reality of a situation. So this is the Sun square Saturn, along with Mars now having just entered its detriment in the sign of Taurus. We have the Moon entering the sign of fixed fire Leo on Sunday the 9th as well. Now the Moon is what we're hungry for, what we need, and when it's in the sign of Leo, that is very much about the need to be paid attention to. Pay attention to me, pay attention to me. The Moon in Leo, and the Moon in Leo is making a square aspect to Mars in Taurus, its detriment. This is emotional upset. Then the Moon in Leo makes an opposition to Pluto in Aquarius, fixed air Aquarius. So these aspects here with the Moon square Mars in Taurus and opposition Pluto in Aquarius, fixed meaning stubborn, someone is not wanting to budge or be flexible. This can be very dramatic, to say the least, with everything that is going on in the energies as we start off the week. The Moon in Leo then makes a sextile aspect of positive opportunity to Jupiter in its detriment and Gemini. Jupiter in Gemini not knowing when to quit and stop the conversation at a certain point before it gets Jupiterian, out of hand, over the top, too much. The cosmic superpower that you have this Sunday is to know when to just keep it calm, walk away, end the conversation, and keep it smooth. On Monday, June 10th, we get a little bit of a break from the cosmic energies. We still have the moon in Leo, which can be a lot of fun. I love Leo. They're a big kid. They love to play. They're so warm and heart-centered and generous. Leo is wonderful. And on this Monday, June 10th, the moon in Leo makes a sextile aspect of positive outcome to Mercury, now in its domicile in the sign of Gemini. So the function of Mercury is to communicate, to send messages, to connect, which is where the word communication comes from, to commune, to connect. So with the moon making this sextile aspect to Mercury at home in Gemini, this is a fabulous opportunity to express feelings and thoughts and opinions in such a way that Moon in Leo can bring in a great sense of humor about it all. Mercury and Gemini, which is Quicksilver, Mercury is very smooth, very sophisticated. So the moon and Mercury, they get each other. How we feel, what we're thinking about, what we want to communicate in a very happy, playful, and humorous way. They get each other, the moon in Leo and Mercury in Gemini. So this is a nice supportive energy as we go into Monday, Moon's Day, after what could potentially, doesn't have to be, but what could potentially be an over-the-top dramatic Sunday as we began the week. There is nothing so effective and helpful as humor, laughter, that helps us to see a situation and lighten up about it and see the humor in whatever may be going on. And laughter really is the best medicine. Tuesday, June 11th, Mars Day. What an active day with all of the energies going on. We start off the day with the moon in Leo making a sextile aspect to the sun in Gemini, ruled by Mercury. So this is the moon and the sun, the masculine, the feminine, the inner and the outer, getting along, being in agreement with each other. The elements of fire and air, they blend beautifully. We do have Mars in Taurus making a square aspect to Pluto. Now, this is a situation where the Mars in Taurus making that square to Pluto in Aquarius is releasing, wanting to let go of, cut away things having to do with the past, which is connected to a mindset, an attitude, a style of communication. This is the Pluto in fixed air, communicative Aquarius. The moon still in Leo during the day makes a sextile aspect to Venus in Gemini. Now this fire-air blending between the moon, what you need, and Venus, the love and marriage planet in Gemini, this cosmic energy is so helpful as far as trying new and different things, looking through the relationship, Venus in Gemini, with fresh eyes, and perhaps just taking the day off for romance and fun. This is the moon sextile Venus. Later on in the evening, depending on your time zone, the moon then moves into cool, dry earth Virgo. This is the need to buckle down and pay attention to all of the little details that mean so much. The moon in Virgo loves their work. It's a devotion. When we lose ourselves in the work that we do, we love it so much. Of course, it doesn't feel like work at all. The moon in Virgo is that great desire to not have drama and conflict, to just buckle down and pay attention to every detail with the work at hand that you are doing. This is a really nice component to getting a lot done. We just had the new moon, and the new moon is the time to take action. We have a lot of what are called mutable planets, meaning morphing and shape-shifting and changing, making the adaptations the negotiations this week to get things done and move forward in your career, work, and making money. Whenever we are in new moon to second quarter moon, that first quadrant of the moon, which I always call the new baby moon, this is the time to take action, to begin something new. The energies are greatly supportive of this. New moon to second quarter is always springtime. It's fresh and new. Let's try something differently. Let's get something started as far as looking for a new job, asking for a raise, whatever it may be, asking that person out that you've been wanting to ask out. Moon in Virgo, starting new health practices, walking, diet, whatever it may be for you that helps the betterment of your health, Virgo, and well-being. Wednesday, June 12th, I'm really liking the aspect of the moon in Virgo, which is very clever, intelligent, ruled by Mercury. The moon in Virgo is making an Earth trine flow to Mars in Taurus, its detriment. So we've been chatting about in this podcast about the Mars in detriment in Taurus. That is about disturbing the peace. Well, very smart moon in Virgo, ruled by Mercury, can be very level-headed and calm and think things through, as opposed to just reacting. Mars in Taurus, the moon in Virgo, ruled by Mercury, which is what you also need. The moon is what we are always trying to acquire. So the moon in Virgo is being connected to what it is that you need, which is to stay calm, peaceful, level-headed, and think things through. Even though the moon is about our emotions, Mercury is the mind, and what your emotions, and especially the third chakra, the stomach area of the body, which is what the moon rules over. What you need instinctually, that's the moon, in your body, in your emotions, is to keep it nice and light and calm, moon in Virgo, and see the impractical side of what it will cost you if you just go Mars in Taurus. The moon in Virgo is very helpful energy where you can have that conversation within yourself and calm yourself down and talk yourself out of a potentially Mars in Taurus situation. The moon in Virgo is stronger, more powerful than the Mars in detriment in Taurus on June 12th. Also on the 12th, the moon in Virgo will then make a square aspect of action. A square prompts us to take action and do something. The moon in Virgo will make a square to Jupiter in Gemini, its detriment. The moon in Virgo, being in touch with your emotional body and how you feel, the moon in Virgo will help you to feel, nope, not getting into this Jupiterian, doesn't know when to quit conversation of Jupiter in Gemini. The energy of the moon in Virgo assists you, helps you, and this is what Virgo loves to do always, to help and assist you in not staying connected to that Jupiter and Gemini detrimental conversation that doesn't Jupiterian know when to quit. Thursday, Jupiter's day, we have the second quarter moon at 23 degrees Virgo. Now 23 degrees Virgo brings in a Taurus flavor, a Taurus influence ruled by Venus, which is peace. So as we now move from second quarter to the full moon, the energy, the intensity is building. It's condensing as we go from second quarter to full moon. This is the summertime quadrant of the moon where there's a lot of light, a lot of power, a lot of energy. which is also building. This second quarter moon at 23 degrees Virgo is the power you have, the energy you have to add new things to the work that you're already doing, more details, more Virgo eye for perfection. This energy is you having not only the power to accomplish the goals, but the willingness to do the work. This is the second quarter moon in Virgo. The dream and the visualization is wonderful, but then we have to back it up with action, the physical work and action. So this second quarter to full moon, it's not only the cosmic superpower of getting things done, it's you taking the action and having that energy to begin something new in your new work, to add on to what it is that perhaps you are already doing, and the willingness to do what it takes action-wise to accomplish your goal. Because Virgo is ruled by Mercury, which is the mind and the attitude and the words that we use, it's not just the physical work, it's the work of how you are thinking. Moon in Virgo ruled by Mercury. So how you are you thinking with confidence? Are you thinking like a winner? Are you telling yourself, yes, you can do it? Are you telling yourself that not only can you do and accomplish the goal that you seek, but that you believe and have the confidence that you can and will make it happen? With the moon in Virgo, which rules over the mind being Mercury, take a pause perhaps on this day to just stop and feel into for a moment how you feel in your body, how you feel in your stomach. When you say positive things to yourself, like winning thoughts, as opposed to how you feel in your own body when you say negative things to and about yourself. Try this exercise and see and feel into the difference with the moon in Virgo on this day. Friday, June 14th, Venus's day. This is the day of the Sun and Mercury in superior conjunction together. Now, with the Sun and Mercury making this conjunction in the sign of Gemini, which is the mind. Remember, Mercury is in such a place that from our vantage point, we don't see with the eyes, the physical eyes, the planet Mercury. So this is about going to the inner eye, the inner sight, so to speak, looking within to connect to what it is that you see in your mind and in your visualization. That connection, that inner communication and what you're seeing is very important on this day, because we don't have a view with the physical eyes of the planet Mercury. Also on this day, June 14th, we have the moon entering cardinal air Libra. Now, Libra ruled by Venus. The moon in Libra, it wants relationship, wants connection, wants to bring things into balance. The sign of Libra is trying to find balance, fairness, and justice. When Libra brings those scales of balance into balance, then the moon in Libra is ready for love, affection, romance, relationship. The moon in Libra on Friday makes an air trine flow to Pluto in Aquarius. That can be very deep and profound conversations. The moon in Libra, which is a cardinal air sign, meaning to lead into a new chapter, a new time of life. So the moon in Libra is really going deep with this connection to Pluto as far as how can we make the changes as far as all kinds of different relationships. Libra, above all else, like Taurus, ruled by Venus, wants peace, wants to bring things into harmony. The other interesting thing on this Friday, June 14th, is then the moon in Libra will make an air trine flow to Jupiter and Gemini in its detriment. After this aspect of the moon making a trine to Jupiter, then the moon goes into what's called void of course or off course all through Saturday the 15th. Now the moon void of course is a period of time that varies. Sometimes it can be a few minutes, a few hours. Sometimes the moon void of course can last for 24 hours. But it's a time frame when the moon, our closest satellite and mirror to us, isn't making any aspects, any connections to any of the other planets. So the moon is said to be void, in the void, off course. This is how we are closing out the week on June 15th, after the last aspect that the moon in Libra has made is an air trine flow, which is an ease. A trine is easy to do something. Now the moon in Libra, that last moon aspect is the moon trine Jupiter and Gemini. So what does this mean? Moon in Libra, trine Jupiter and Gemini. It means it is so easy to say the wrong thing. Just because we're looking at a trine, that doesn't mean it's always a favorable aspect. The trine makes something easier, and we're looking at two planets that are in the element of communication and thinking. Moon in Libra, which is I want relationship. Jupiter in Gemini doesn't know when to stop. This air trine ease of what I want, moon in Libra, in relationship with that air trine ease to Jupiter and Gemini that doesn't know when to quit. This is potentially, if we are not careful, saying something in relationship, negotiations, trying to make a deal, trying obviously to get what we want with the moon in Libra. The whole thing can be way over the top, blown out of proportion with this moon trine Jupiter on the very day that Mercury is making that superior conjunction to the sun, meaning we don't see it clearly with the outside physical eyes. Your insight, your inner vision is much more important than the outer words and vision. At the very least, with this day and with this aspect, please get more information, get the proof, get the facts before, and so you don't connect to the energy of the Mars in Taurus, which is just to react. Saturday, June 15th, an unaspected day, the moon void of course all day. So what do you do on June 15th? You take it easy, you relax, you chill, you give yourself a well-needed break and rest. This Saturday, June 15th, it is Father's Day weekend. So letting the men, the fathers in your life, know how much you appreciate and love all that they do. The singer Jerry Lee Lewis, back in the day, he used to joke around and say if God made anything better than a woman, he kept it for himself. Well, what I always say is if God made anything better than a man, he kept it for himself. So thank you to all of the fabulous, wonderful dads, fathers, men out there that give life so much meaning and purpose, joy and happiness. Where would we be without you? Thank you, everyone. Have a fabulous week, and I will see you all in the stars.